Yo, we just beat the Magic. As a matter of fact, we were dominating pretty much the entire game, especially after the first quarter. And then the Magic go on a freaking 23-6 run on us, cut it down to 4. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. But Alex Sarr saves the game for us. Elite rim protector. This man's it was like three blocks in the final 6 minutes of the game. 3 blocks. Alex Sarr dominates this game, dude. This man has 23 points, 8 rebounds, 2 of 5 from the 3, 4 blocks. Alex Sarr was the best player tonight with Paolo Banchero out there. Far and clear and about the best player tonight, y'all. And it's only getting started. Let's see here. Oh, shit. Let me move my face over here. Put it right here. This is without Keyshawn George, says Raj. Yeah, man. This is a bit. They said this in the Chris Miller said this at the very end of the game. We won our 10th game last year, February 24th. Today is January freaking 6th. And we got our 10th game, our 10th dub. We are now 6. We've won 6 of our past 11 games, y'all. I know what some of y'all are thinking. What about the tank? Don't worry about the tank. Actually, no, of course, the tank's the most important thing, besides obviously developing our young bucks, but we're going to find a way. I trust Will Dawkins to not fuck us over, y'all. Let's see what chat's saying right now. A Trae Young trade without giving up any of our young core first-round picks would be awesome. Yeah, man, I think a Trae Young trade is going to happen this week. And I think we're in the lead with that trade, man. Things are moving quick. Anyways, we play tomorrow with the Sixers. Tomorrow at Philly at 7 p.m. But, you know what I mean? Let's just stick to this game. This game, y'all. First off, the Magic go on a 23-6 run, spanning from the third to the fourth quarter. And they never insert their starters back in the game. And you know what? I was thinking about, would I do it if I was the head coach? Nah. I mean, their starters weren't it, man. Their starters weren't it. The way the Magic were playing tonight, it reminded me of Bradley Beal in the Dark Ages. Like, there was no ball movement with them. We basically made Paolo Banchero. Bilal Coulibaly had great defense on Paolo Banchero the entire night. Paolo Banchero finished with only 14 points. Bilal Coulibaly, especially in the beginning of the game, great defense. Like, Paolo Banchero was trying to, man him down in the paint. Coulibaly wasn't having it. We have to start talking about Coulibaly's strength. I feel like Coulibaly's strength is a bit underrated. His physical frame. But Bilal Coulibaly and Alex Sarr, freaking, those two we basically made Paolo Banchero a shooter tonight. And that's the game plan if you want to beat the Magic, right? Make him a shooter. Bilal Coulibaly, man, active like this. 5 steals, 9 stocks between Alex Sarr and Bilal Coulibaly. Yep, Ricky Daniel. Well, no, 10. You're right. Yeah, with Alex Sarr with the steal. Let's see here. Thoughts on the Commanders getting rid of Cliff? Immediately comes in with the Cliff Kingsbury. I think Dan Quinn's gonna find a right hire. Anyways, let's go to this freaking game, man. Let me turn this thing on real quick. I am, considering how Alex Sarr got diffed against Rudy Gobert and the Timberwolves, a great bounce back game from Alex Sarr. Great bounce back game from him, and he is doing this without a point guard. Imagine if he gets a guy like, I don't know, Trae Young. Could you imagine? At least 20 next year if he gets Trae Young. Again, with the Trae Young thing, for those that didn't watch the stream yesterday, my position is if we get assets that are attached to Trae Young, I'm in. By assets, I mean like a first-round pick. I'm in. With the idea that we can possibly flip him again at the trade deadline next year. Trae Young's going to be in his contract year. He's going to have all the incentive to ball out, considering he's going to be in his 28th year. Yeah, he's going to be 28 years old next year. So this is going to be one of his last big paydays, I guess. It's all about the flipping. Let's see here. But yeah, we'll see. Jay says, I didn't realize you went live so often. I go live after every Wizards game, y'all. I've missed, I believe, just two games this year, and that's because I was out and about. But I still watch the game. Young Mill says, I don't want Jonathan Kuminga. I'm definitely all set with all that move. Don't want him. Yeah, I don't want Jonathan Kuminga either. I don't want him either. But we are interested in him. I'm assuming it's the same thing. The Warriors would have to attach assets to get rid of him, but what assets do the Warriors have? You know what I mean? Like draft capital wise, I don't know. I'm not all in on that Kuminga deal. Trae Young is about to be as bad as Jordan Poole on the defensive end of the floor. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. But at the same time, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just sticking to my thing is this, man. If we get a first round pick attached to him, on top of that, like people are also thinking about getting a pick swap instead of a first round pick. Would y'all like that? Would y'all like that instead? Obviously, we'll have to add in more to the pot to sweeten it for the Hawks to give us the pick swap. We've already read reports saying that the Hawks covet that, obviously, the Pelicans' first-round pick that they own. But I'm not sure. Anyways, let me put this over here real quick. Let's see here. Not even that. I was looking, what the hell? Yeah, Bob Carrington went 0-4 from the three tonight. But he did have 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He had not the best game. Trey Johnson only had 6 points, but I'm sorry, I was impressed with Trey Johnson tonight. As a matter of fact, he was a plus 16. Man had 5 assists. 5 assists in 22 minutes. That playmaking ability that Trey Johnson has, that we all see, and that the NBA hasn't caught up yet. Like Trey Johnson, to me, like I believe he had 3 assists in the first 6 minutes of the game. I was impressed with Trey Johnson, y'all. He did go 0-4 from the 3, but still, like, you know, tonight, you don't see it in the stat sheet, but if you watch the game with his playmaking ability, you also saw teams, you know, doubling him. I can't even speak tonight. My bad. Teams doubling him out in the perimeter. You can already feel the gravity with, like, you know, him being a gravity player for us. I was impressed with Trey Johnson tonight, y'all. He was making the right reads, the right decisions. 2 steals. Let's see. They were dogging Trey the whole game. The rookie's getting so much respect from the opposing defense. Yeah, Sir Tut. I completely agree, man. Completely agree. I haven't even talked about Champagnie yet. I'm out of it right now. Champagnie dominates. It's called the Champagnie effect, y'all. And we are seeing this. Whenever this man steps on the floor, we see the Champagnie effect. 17 points, 4 of 5 from the 3. I'm sorry. Champagnie last year shot 36% from the 3. People keep saying, or people were saying early on in the season, is he a solid 3-point shooter? Is he ever going to succumb to be, or is he ever going to be one in the future? Nah, dude. He shot 36% from the 3 last year. Granted, I believe it was just like a mid 3.6 attempts per game. He's getting his 3-point percentage right now up. He's been on a tear lately from the 3. As a matter of fact, He is now shooting 29% from the three this year. But he was at one point 21%. And after tonight, this is going to rise to 30, probably 31. I was wrong, actually. He shot 38% from the three last year. And it was on 3.1 attempts. I don't know where I got 36. I thought it was 36. He shot 38% from the three last year. He is on a roll, and he is getting this number back to where it should be. Get it above 36% or around that area, and we're cooking. We're cooking. Champagnie dominated, man. As a matter of fact, for some reason, Coach Keefe puts in Malachi in. Malachi respectfully doesn't do ish tonight. 3 minutes ain't played. And then he puts Champagnie back in the game. And what happens? Drills 2 threes. When has Ice Trey had a rim protector like Alex Sarr? You can mask his defensive flaws when you have a legit shot blocker. Yeah. I see, like, again, with us possibly trading for Trae Young, it's not a move for me for the long term. It can be, but us trading for Trae Young is the move of also flipping him and getting more assets at the trade deadline next year. And, you know, also getting assets with him right now if we were to trade for him. And as of right now, like, I feel like we're in the lead to get Trae Young. There's other teams right now that are apparently sniffing around Trae Young, but I think I saw that the Kings were interested. The Bucks were interested. But they still reported that the Wizards, we are still at the, you know, in front. Let's see. Y'all are praising Sir Toot. Bub's defense was so good tonight. He was active and focused all night, and he did a good job on the boards as well. Yeah, no, Bub's defense had a really solid night. He did. He had active hands. Even though Jace Richardson and who's this Penda? This Penda kid was going off on us, and he's only 20 years old. He had 10 points, but Jace Richardson was on one tonight. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like Jace Richardson in the draft. Robert McCullum says, looking forward to tomorrow's show. Can't stay. Keep it up, please. Appreciate it, man. Let's see here. Young Miller says, I wish I wasn't in Boston. I go to Palladium games this year. Did somebody see? Somebody tweeted out tonight that there was a Trae Young jersey right behind the Wizards bench, I believe it was. Did anybody see that? There was a Trae Young jersey right behind the Wizards bench. Let me get straight to the notes, dude. We started off, our starters tonight were McCollum, Trey Johnson, Coulibaly, Middleton, and Sarr. Keyshawn George was still out with a hip flexor strain. Coulibaly came out, and he came out guns a-blazing. This man had a quick 7 points. He had a steal and a dunk to start off the game. And then he also hit a three. And also, I kept noticing right now, Paulo came in and immediately tried to post up Bilal and couldn't go anywhere with that. Paulo, like Bilal Coulibaly, man, I have here in my notes, like, I think his strength is underrated. Like, how many times have we seen opposing players try to post up Bilal and it gets nowhere? We saw Bilal guarding Giannis early on this season. I'm not saying that he was locking down Giannis. You can't lock down Giannis, but you know what I mean? He was effective in certain, you know. Trey Johnson, like I said here earlier, had 3 assists in the first quarter. Had a nice pick and pop with Alex Sarr. A nice dump off pass for an easy bucket for Alex Sarr as well. Keep right down right now. Playmaking is developing like we expected it to be. Because coming out of Texas, I mean, all the scouts, all the reports were saying that his playmaking is underrated. You hear every interview by Trey Johnson. He's saying his playmaking is underrated. We've seen it in flashes and spurts this year. And you know what? Although he only scored 6 points tonight, only shot up 7 times, I saw the playmaking ability. I saw the Magic defense honing in on Trey Johnson, doubling him out in the perimeter. Like I you know, this is what good players do. You get doubled? All right. You make him pay for it. He made the right reads, the right decisions. Doug Arby says Trey Johnson did show some energy defensively too. He had a really nice steal. Yeah, he did. He did. I believe that was in the fourth quarter, the steal you're referring to. He had 2 steals, but you're right. Pengu Shadow says him and Sarr were frustrating Giannis a lot that last game. Yeah, man. Look, we know about Balal-Alcatraz. We need to come up with a nickname for Balal-Alcatraz and Alex Sarr, because those two dudes, like defensive demons, depending on what we do in the lottery, but those two dudes could be guys entrenched in our starting lineup. I'm thinking about the French Revolution, y'all. I don't know. But, you know, those two dudes have been putting key players on opposing teams on a blender. Tonight, it was Paolo Banchero's turn. You know, Eli Biza says, where was Keyshawn George? He still has that hip flexor injury. As a matter of fact, they gave us an update recently, and they said they still have no timetable for him. So, I don't know. We play the Sixers tomorrow, and we play the Pelicans on Friday, and that's it for this week. The French Legion, says Dallas. I'll take it. I will admit, though, let me see here. We did get a good whistle tonight. I'm going to be honest. We shot the ball. I have here in my notes. 33 free throws tonight, and we made 31 of them. We were awesome from the free throw line tonight, y'all. Alex Sarr, I believe, made all of his free throw attempts, and so did Marvin Bagley. But 31 from 33, that's awesome. Matter of fact, that Magic went 16 of 24. But yeah, Alex Sarr, I believe, made all of his free throws. Yep, 7 of 7. Yep, Marvin Bagley, 8 of 8. The only person who missed was Bilal Coulibaly. But everybody else was money. McCollum as well. 27 points. I haven't even talked about McCollum yet. Really solid night, man. 11 of 19, 3 of 7 from the 3. Plus 15. 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was actually not really solid. He was really good. In 38 minutes played. You know what I mean? I wonder what they're going to do. I was thinking about this with McCollum, and y'all let me know about this. I was thinking about this with McCollum. I was just like, at what point do you actually... Because I feel like he's already established. He already has like a good sample size of how good he's been this year. At what point do you actually just sit him out? Load management. At what point do we start doing that? Because I feel like it's going to happen in January if we don't trade him this week for Trae Young. But I'm just like, I'm looking at our calendar, and, you know, obviously you don't want to risk an injury with CJ McCollum. But at the same time, you know, we've seen our players take a, you know, injury turn this year. In December, it was Alex Sarr. You know, he took a sweet-ass time to come back from his injury. In January/December, it's been Keyshawn George. You know, at what point do you think they would do the same to CJ McCollum? You're just like, you know what? We've seen enough. Like, we don't want to risk anything. I feel like if we don't trade him this week, I wouldn't be surprised by like January 21st, they do something with him. That's my prediction. I feel like we all predicted the Keyshawn George, you know, him being out for longer than we expected. But you know what I mean? I feel like this is it, y'all. I just have a hunch that Trae Young's going to be traded this week. But if I'm the Hawks, I'm holding out as much as I can to see if like a last minute potential trade partner comes out. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's just more in the future. Marvin Bagley, 12 points in 17 minutes, did his, you know, overall thing. 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. Defense was a bit shaky though towards, you know, when they were going on a 23-6 run. Gotta admit it. Will Riley, 4 points in 12 minutes. But Champagnie and Marvin Bagley, these two off the bench, they are a lethal combo. They are. Somebody tweeted this tonight, and let me know what y'all think about this. Obviously, I don't want to give up Champagnie. I consider Champagnie a key player in our rotation moving forward. But if you have to give up Champagnie to the Hawks to sweeten the deal so that they can give us the pick swap this year with the Pelicans, would y'all do it? I'm assuming it'll probably be even more, to be honest with you guys, of what the Hawks might want for a pick swap. But Doc Miyagi says, I see us trading CJ before the deadline regardless. Yeah, no, I agree. Honestly, it's more on the Hawks. But, we won tonight, and we are 10-25. Granted, I want to show y'all something real quick, because right now, I know a good chunk of us are looking at the lottery, and we're just like, hey, man, what's going on with this? Here's one note I want to bring to you guys regarding the lottery. These two teams are critical, in my opinion. The Jazz, Mavericks, and the Charlotte Hornets. If they continue, I guess, winning / playing like around sub 500 ball, like near 500, then us winning these games in January, because I think January is the most important month, because come February, we're going to trade our veterans. We're going to be back in full tank mode. But January is going to be an important month. Like, I think we're straight, dude. Even if we are winning these games. Like I said, the most important thing is, us showing out the development with these young bucks. Alex Sarr is looking like a future all-star. He's even getting all-star consideration in his second year in the league. But, you know what I mean? Even if we go to fifth, like we said in the stream last time, it's only a 0.7 chance that we lose our pick to the Knicks. So if we get top 5, we're still good. Top 6, we're still good too. I believe the percentage is not that much more. It was like 4, I believe it is 4%. But I'm just looking at this right here. Brooklyn, they're going to trade Michael Porter Jr., I believe, and maybe other players. But these teams right here, these 3 teams right here, the Jazz, Mavericks, and Hornets, if they continue winning out, and especially the Hornets, who've been balling as of late, Brandon Miller has been wrecking the past 5 games. I believe he's averaging 26 points in the past 5 games. He's been wrecking. But, you know what I mean? The Clippers, I'm no longer worried about them. We all expected this to happen. I did. I ain't shit. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I kind of expected the Clippers to go on a winning streak eventually. Now, if Kawhi Leonard does get injured, then we should be scared. But the Clippers have now distanced themselves from us. We play the Clippers twice this month, actually. So, you know what I mean? Young Mel says, I don't trust any odds when it comes to the lottery. Adam Silver rigged the lotto last year for Dallas and the Spurs. No, you're right. But ideally, like we talked about on the stream, a top 6 worst record is what we need. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it does where we land regarding the top 6 worst records. But as long as we have top 6 worst record, we're fine, dude. We're fine. Primarily just to keep our pick and make sure we don't lose it to the Knicks. But I keep thinking this to myself. The month of January is going to be critical. Not critical, but it's going to be interesting. The month of January is going to be interesting because come February, March, and April, I think we're going to be in tank mode, dude. Even if we get Trae Young, Trae Young himself, like this year, you could possibly make an argument that CJ McCollum's been... No, you should make an argument, actually. McCollum's been better than Trae Young this year. Now, Trae Young's the better player, obviously. Trae Young's been hampered with injuries, only played 10 games this year. Right quad contusion. But, you know what I mean? I like to think that Trae Young will only play in spurts, and then they'll probably shut him down. So, that says here, Elia Biza. Let me go to the game, though. I'm over here dicking around too much. My mind right now is on frickin' March and April to see where we're going to land. But overall tonight, it was a great game by our young Bucks. Like I said, Champagnie really continues to impress. Trey Johnson, the box score doesn't show it, but his playmaking ability tonight, 5 assists, making the right reads, right decisions. You see opposing teams respecting him. I was impressed with Champagnie in that department tonight. Let's see. We were down by 1 point after the first quarter, and then we were up. we were up by 12 at halftime. My bad. No, we were up by 1 point after the first quarter, and we were up by 12 at halftime. And then the Magic go on a run from the third quarter to the fourth quarter. They cut it down to 4 points. They go on a 23-6 run. And then Alex Sarr comes in and takes over and wins us the game. Like the stud that he is. 4 blocks. Give me that. He blocked one on Paolo Banchero. You saw players like, you know what I mean? He's not only blocking, the fear is installed. Like when you're driving to the rim and Sarr is there, you know, he is, you know, misdirecting shots. Like, that's what you need. That's what you want from your big man. At halftime, Alex Sarr was leading the way with 16 points. He was a plus 15. McCollum at 11. Champagnie at 9. He had 16 points and 6 rebounds on 5 of 7 from the field. Alex Sarr was. Bilal Coulibaly, we talked about it. Active hands, not just tonight. The past 3-4 weeks, this man's been on a roll, man. Bilal Coulibaly again. 5 steals, dude. 5 steals. Holy hell. Sarr Tut says that his block where he went over JC in the fourth was game changing. Yup. That was it, man. That was it. That was it. Sal Hazari says, right now we should assume that Caleb Wilson is the best we can do. Anything else is a bonus. I don't know about that. But that sentence alone, Caleb Wilson is the best we can do. Dude, Caleb Wilson is a freaking stud, and I'll be ecstatic to have Caleb Wilson here, though. I get what you're trying to say, though, dude. I understand what you're trying to say, but you know, I'm not losing hope at all regarding us getting our deserved top 3 slot, y'all. But you know, if I leave this draft with Caleb Wilson, I'm ecstatic. I am happy as hell. I'll be bummed that we missed out on a top 3 pick, but fucking hell, dude. I actually saw recent draft notes and draft mock drafts that Caleb Wilson is going in the top 3. Not joking. I was listening to a podcast by an NBA draft pundit. I forgot his name. Reputable, though. And him and the other dudes were saying, no, Caleb Wilson might go 3. And I was just like, who will fall out, though? Boozer? Boozer's wrecking right now as we speak. You know what I mean? But still, man, I will be happy with Caleb Wilson. Let's see here. I talked about Justin Champagnie's 3-point percentage. Yeah, that 29% right now is not a good indicator of how good of a shooter, not even good of a shooter, respectable shooter that Justin Champagnie is. We forced 17 turnovers in the beginning of the fourth quarter. How many turnovers did we get at the very end? 19 turnovers, y'all. We forced 19 turnovers. 29 points off those turnovers. Rebounding department was pretty much the same. 12 steals by us. 9 double-dare blocks. Alex Sarr. That's right there. Alex Sarr and freaking Bilal Coulibaly. Like, you see the impact that these two are making, man. Fast break. We had 10 more than they did. But I'm not going to lie, we did have a good whistle tonight. 33 free throws compared to their 24. But most importantly, we made our free throws. We were really good from the free throw line. Let's say here, Doug Arby says, hopefully whoever the Wizards pick wears a cup when you play. Oh, yeah, when you're playing Draymond Green. Yeah. And yeah, man. Sarr, like I said, in the fourth quarter, 3 blocks, forced 2 jump balls. We lost one of them. But key blocks, he saved this team from losing. Because if it wasn't for Alex Sarr, we would have lost. If it wasn't for Alex Sarr at that end, we would have lost. They had all momentum. Even if the bench players were finishing out the rest of the game, which they were, they had all the momentum. But like I said, we've now won 6 out of the past 11 games. Did I miss something? Talked about Chris. Oh, no, I didn't talk about Chris. 2 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from the 3. Hit all 6 of his free throws, though. 7 rebounds. But we play the Sixers on a second night of a back-to-back. So I'm not going to say anything, but... And also the Sixers have been playing much better. And you know what I mean? Yeah. But Pengu Shadow, I'm with you too, man. This draft just can't come soon enough. I want to know. I want to know where the hell we're going to land already, man. Obviously, right now is fun times because, I feel like this is like the best stretch of Wizards basketball we've seen since we started rebuilding with Will Dawkins in 2023. Easily the best stretch of basketball we've seen. Like last year, we saw one in March when Jordan Poole, but Alex Sarr was a rookie, Keyshawn George was a rookie, so was Bub. You know what I mean? But now, we're winning because of our young bucks. And because of that alone, I can't be mad at this at all, man. I can't be mad at these dubs at all. It's really encouraging. It's really, it has me excited. It has me excited. But the idea of just adding one more piece to this puzzle is getting me freaking anxious. Not anxious about us losing our pick, just anxious about where we land and what our prospects are. Tupac Boxing says, Kobe from Arizona is nice if we land 5 or 6. Jaden Quaintance. Remember that name. He's going to go above Kobe. Screw the Sixers. All those number 1 picks and ain't do ish with them. I said that on the last stream. Screw the Sixers, man. They've ruined the lottery, actually, if you think about it. They did. Because of the Sixers, they changed the lottery rules. Pengu Shadow says, on God, just let me know if Adam screws us again. I just want to know. I know, man. But even if something were to happen, like worst case scenario, I trust Will Dawkins. He will find a way to leave with something that night. Trust and believe. My mind is set. Let me get Darren Peterson. It's our turn to be greedy. We got to be greedy nowadays. Yeah, man. But, overall, great dub by the Wizards tonight. We are 10-25. And like I said in the beginning of the stream, last year, we won our 10th game on February 24th. Today is January 6th, and we now won our 10th game. Progress. All right? I said this in the beginning of the year. If we were to win, if we were to win less games or less than 18 games like we did last year, that would be a bit worrisome. It would show that our young bucks didn't develop as they should have. I like to believe that we're on track to win more than 18 games. Hey, my prediction might actually come true. I predicted 23-24. Before the season started, I was like, we're going to win 23-24 games. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if we get that. As a matter of fact, that's probably the sweet spot considering where we're playing. So, you know what I mean? The Spurs got Wemby, Castle, and Dillon. It's our turn. Yes, it's our turn. It's freaking... Bro, it's been our turn since 2020. Boy. I'm just like... Part of me, I'm excited to see the Wizards in the second half of the season. See the Young Bucks play. But at the same time, I just want to see where we fucking land, dude. I just want to see where we land, man. But Base Maryland says Embiid moves like a Elon Musk robot nowadays. Hey, he probably does. As a matter of fact, he does. But Embiid's been on a tear. He's been averaging, I believe, 28 points the past 5 games. Doc Miyagi says, it'll all pay off, I promise you. Dude, I agree. As a matter of fact, with the current young bucks that we got, I'm happy with it. I think we're going to reap the benefits with these young bucks. I think Alex Sarr and Trey Johnson are future all-stars. But obviously, if you got a chance to add a blue chip player Like there are multiple of them in this draft class. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man. The fuck, man. We deserve a top 3 pick. Anyways, enough of that. I feel like I talked more about the draft than I was about the game. But you know what I mean? We'll see, though. I'll see you guys tomorrow, y'all. If you enjoyed the stream, please like and subscribe. I was disappointed with the Magic, to be honest with you guys. I thought the Magic would beat us. I wasn't rooting for the Magic, but I came in here thinking, I don't know, the Magic, you know what I mean? Granted, they don't have Franz Wagner, but, you know, I was worried about the Paolo Banchero, Desmond Bain. Anthony Black's been wrecking as of late. He didn't really do that much tonight. 6 points, 0 of 5 from the 3. You know. But, man, those starters were complete ass. They reminded me, no ball movement whatsoever. Just the Bradley Beal Dark Ages type ball right there. All of them. Look at this. Disgusting. Minus 12, minus 19, minus 27, minus 22. Yeah, they were horrible. They were horrible. Horrible. I'm talking that issue as a Wizards fan, but screw it. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with these? Yeah, but we did beat the Magic, though. They are on a 11-game. They were on an 11-game winning streak on us. As a matter of fact, the last time we beat them, I believe, was in early 2023. So, you know, so we did stop that streak, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm just going to go. I don't know. So, yeah, Pelicans tomorrow. Not Pelicans. Sixers tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'll see y'all at 9:30 after the game. We're always going to chop it up. My apologies, y'all. I feel like I talked more about the draft than I did about the actual freaking game. But this game was mostly a blowout until, you know, that Magic went on their run. But main takeaways, Alex Sarr dominated this game, was clearly the best player on the hardwood over dudes like Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero. Let that sink in. Sarr was the clear best player on the floor over guys like Banchero. Hey, man, people keep saying, we don't have a franchise player yet. Maybe Sarr's a complimentary player. You're right. I agree with you. But don't sleep on the fact that Alex Sarr and Trey Johnson could possibly be that guy, though. Possibly. Just saying. Just saying. Live Lifeless says, peace out, Brody. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, dude. Back-to-back dubs coming. Back-to-back nights, though. We're going to be tired. Look at this. McCollum played 38 minutes tonight. Corey Kispert did not play tonight. He might play tomorrow, perhaps. But we're going to have tired legs tomorrow, especially especially McCollum. But anyways, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Take care, everybody. Peace.